Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Sports Science Hacks, where today I'm going to speak about how to write a methodology. Now very simply I'm going to go through all these processes one by one, but before I do I recommend you get a notepad ready, open the Word document and also pause the video and think about how what I'm saying relates to the methodology that you're planning. Okay, so first of all you want to speak about your participants. How many participants are in your study? Give some basic details about these participants. It could be their age, their weight, their height, something like this. So give the mean and standard deviation for those values. And also speak about recruitment. How did you get those participants in your study? Was it a poster, a flyer? Was it social media? Just briefly talk about how you got them. Next, you go on and speak about ethical approval. This bit's very simple, so don't overdo it. You just have to say ethical approval was obtained by and put the name of your university. This is only really relevant if you're doing your dissertation or your master's dissertation. If you're just doing a laboratory report in first, second year at uni, it's unlikely you're going to talk about this. But what you will have to speak about in all these papers is procedures. So what did you do? It has to be in chronological order, so from the minute the person came in the laboratory to when they left, well, what did you do with them? And also give specific numbers. So if a test was 30 minutes, you say it was 30 minutes. If somebody took 250 milligrams of a supplement, you state that. And then, once you've done procedures, that's just a basic list of what you did. But this is where in the next section you put into great detail of each test, or the supplement that you used. So this is where you elaborate. So how do you do the test? You put this in a lot of detail and you speak much more freely about this. In part 2, it's much more clear when you see this on paper. I'll put this in green because this is not a subheading, this is a bit different, but what you can do throughout your methodology is include diagrams or schematics. So it can be very hard to explain a test. Sometimes you find yourself writing a 3-long paragraph and you're asking yourself, well, does it even make sense to me, never mind the person reading it. So this is where a diagram can come in really handy. But make sure you list it in the text as well. So at the end of a sentence, put in brackets something like see figure 1, and then you put your figure 1 below. And once again, if you look at part 2, it'll make more sense when you see it. Finally, you finish off with statistical analysis. So what did you measure? A very simple sentence you can have is, in order to measure this and this, we use this statistical test. You don't have to overdo it. I often see people try and explain why they used a test. Sometimes you can't explain why, but really at undergraduate level, you don't need to go into great detail and try and explain why you chose a test. Just say what you measured, and just say what test you used. Okay, thank you for watching this video. This is just part 1. I really recommend you watch part 2 where I screen share and show you a methodology that I've written. It'll make much more sense if you watch both videos together. Okay, if you're still struggling after watching part 1 and 2 of your methodology, get in touch if you have any video suggestions. My Instagram page is Sports Science Hacks, and I look forward to chatting to you. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in part 2.